I wasn't surprised at the chaos. What I was surprised at was the number of people who decided after 4 years of Donald Trump, they wanted 4 more years.
It was supposed to be a Joe Biden landslide, but Donald Trump has made the 2020 U.S. presidential election far closer than expected. Some Canadians hoped that a Biden win would represent a repudiation of the politics of race so favored by the American president. But nearly half of all voters said they wanted to see more of Donald Trump.
We thought Trump was an aberration in 2016. And now when we see 68 million Americans vote for him, almost half of the population that came out to vote for him, we now have to accept the fact that it's not an aberration, that this is a facet of the American character.
Fareed Khan runs Canadians United Against Hate and says Canadians can't think of Trump as an outlier.
I think there's blame on both sides.
The same president who both sides the Charlottesville Unite the Right rally and said a group of visible minority congresswomen should go back to their own countries has won at least 68 million votes. America's willingness to support a president who characterized Black Lives Matter protesters as thugs and looters isn't something Canada can ignore. While Canada hasn't yet seen the same expression of right-wing populism at the ballot box, Khan says Canada's leaders have to be ready to stamp it out before it happens.
We need to treat racism as a virus because that's what it is. It's a social virus. And we need to address it similar in ways that we've addressed the COVID-19 virus. We need politicians to step up and, first of all, to call it out, to call it what it is, to admit that it's there, and then to take the necessary actions politically, through legislation and legally to address this virus.
I think there is a very real risk in that smugness, that it can't be as bad here, it won't be as bad here. I mean, the United States said the same thing, right? That would never happen. We would never see somebody elected who would actually align himself with white supremacist groups.
Megan Bowler was born and raised in the U.S. but has lived in Canada for 2 decades. She says Canadians shouldn't view America's move to racist populism as isolated. The two nations share more than just a border. American media that helped Trump win in 2016 have significant Canadian followings and influence Canada's own outsider media.
It's easy to be smug, right? Right now, United States seems like a cartoon character of all of the things we'd love to despise, but it is very much right here. And those borders are porous, despite the fact that in these COVID times, there's been some barriers thrown up. That media moves back and forth, and we've seen how quickly media can shape an entire population.
Now, both Bowler and Khan point to education as both a source of frustration and a possible answer. While multiculturalism is taught as a Canadian value in schools, both say not enough is done to educate about Canada's racist and colonialist past and present. In Ottawa, Xiaoli Li, City News.